Hey, and welcome back to the VGC. This is Jonathan.
I'm Emil.
And so we are going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Unity, Destiny, and PlayStation Plus versus the console wars going on right now.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed Unity, what's going on?
Assassin's Creed Unity just released a trailer for time lapse. Is that what they were calling
Time
it?
Warp, maybe?
Time Warp, something like that. It looks pretty cool. World War II scenarios and like this weird jarring effect. I don't know. It looks awesome.
When I read that they were going to be going into World War II with Arno, I was like, that's going to be dumb. They're not going to be able to do it right. And I was like, okay, I'll watch the trailer. So I watched the trailer. It has like that weird,
Yeah, like you have to get out of there.
time-lapse thing. And then he's like running away from it, and he like jumps into this portal, and all of a sudden he's in Paris in the middle of World War II.
Things are shooting at
that
him.
made total sense to me as a viewer. And so I was like, okay, I can definitely roll with that, especially if they're having like some animus issues, a glitch, something where it transports the player to World War II, and all of a sudden he's using guns and getting shot at. It's crazy.
I'm really excited about that just because you are a character that was in the French Revolution. You do not have the weaponry to be able to match something from World War II. Like there's gonna be some really creative gameplay, like aesthetics that you're gonna have to get used to, like on the fly.
Yeah, definitely.
If you look in the trailer, he's like climbing up the Eiffel Tower, and things are just shooting at him. And I mean, you can't do anything about that.
And he starts using the gun, and it just looks like it's gonna be crazy.
I mean, Unity in general, its graphics are fantastic. There's the 4-player capability. There's just so much going on for this game right now, and I'm just really excited for it.
Yeah.
But what I'm not excited for is what they've done for the PC. Like, all like the minimum requirements for the PC alone are insane.
I mean, it'll look good, PC Master Race.
Oh yeah, it's going to be fantastic, but you need a really expensive computer to run it.
I think that'll probably, instead of forcing people to not buy the game, it'll steer people to buy the console version of the game, which isn't a bad thing, because when you have a console and you have more people playing it, it'll make the co-op experience way better.
Definitely.
So, I mean, there's kind of pluses and minuses to it. As an Assassin's Creed fan, I am really looking forward to this. I kind of want it to be the redemption of this franchise, because there's been a lot of games, and it has kind of gotten to this annualization issue, and Assassin's Creed 3 really kind of killed my buzz for it. I hadn't missed a game since the beginning, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so Assassin's Creed 3, I was like, I'm gonna take a break, and I didn't get Assassin's Creed 4 at launch because I was kind of burnt out.
Honestly, like I stopped playing Assassin's Creed around Assassin's Creed 2. Like I tried Brotherhood.
Wow.
But I mean, it felt like I already felt like it was repetitive. Like I didn't buy it. I definitely played the rest of the series. I just didn't buy it because it didn't feel like it was worth it to me. They added little bits of gameplay every year. It kind of felt like I was playing a Madden game. They had very little amount of features. But when you make a jump from Assassin's Creed 2 to 4, Black Flag, that was pretty cool. You get to see all those advances.
Very significant. A lot of things changed. I don't know though. I think they changed things incrementally up through the Ezio trilogy, but they were also focusing on Ezio. And if you play all 3 games in sequence, there's a really cool story, a progression of character that you don't see in a lot of games very often anymore, because they're kind of one and done, and they move greatly between different characters. So
yeah, but I mean, like, even if you get that progression, you're still playing the same game pretty much. Like, yeah, they added a few things to change it, but it just was not enough for me. And I think that Unity has changed enough that it's worth going after, especially since Black Flag came out like what, 1-2 years ago?
It was last November.
Was it?
Yes.
Wow.
It was a launch title.
Wow.
For the new gens.
Then I mean,
it's still an annually released game, but when you have a game like Unity that has been in development for longer and is sticking only with the more powerful machines, they've got a new engine.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing new enough things that they can integrate They're generally pretty great stories with new gameplay that looks like it's going to be a blast. And so I'm really excited this season for a new Assassin's Creed to kind of reinvigorate people's love of what is a great franchise.
Well, I mean, speaking of great franchises, I think another big topic that's been going on was Destiny. They just announced what's going to be coming in the next DLC expansion.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's enough.
Oh, it's definitely not enough.
Yeah, like
No.
especially for the price. The price is about $20 for. That's
Yeah.
so much. You get
Yeah.
what?
Nope.
Three story missions.
Yes, and then
There's three
strike, and then
and a raid.
Multiple map and raid. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 strikes, or is it 2 strikes?
I think it's 2, and one of them is PS exclusive.
Yes, and
That's what it is.
that really hurts the Xbox community.
That's
Like
painful.
it's $20. Yeah, if you have an Xbox, you're paying $20 for something you're not gonna get to use for another year. That's hard. That's really difficult, and there's a lot of people that don't like that, and I don't really like it. But
Especially since Bungie was like the Xbox company. They made Halo. They made all of these other things that were only for people with an Xbox that Sony users didn't have. And I kind of get like this is kind of balancing it out. But Sony didn't even have the option to pay for it. Xbox users are paying for this content. They're just not getting it when they should be.
yeah, and I mean that's what you get when you do an exclusivity contract with someone. You have to follow through with it, and it was smart on Sony's part to go after that, especially since they knew that Bungie was such a big Xbox company. It's like twisting a dagger in the back. of someone.
I think this kind of goes beyond just paying them to make content for your console, because why isn't Microsoft paying Bungie to make content that only Xbox users get for a time? Sony is probably paying Bungie to not make stuff for Xbox, because
Well, I mean-
why isn't Microsoft doing the same thing?
Well,
And
I
there's
mean,
2 different branches
They're
of
making
exclusivity.
they're making the content for everyone. It's just that they're not releasing it for one of the consoles.
Right. But why? What I'm saying is, why isn't Microsoft could be doing the same thing,
Yeah,
and they're not.
yeah. It was just Sony jumped on that opportunity well before Xbox did.
Yeah, it's a shame.
And it really is. But even though it's such little content, I'm still excited for it.
I mean, it's going to shake up our experience of playing Destiny. We're going to have a new strike to play of and get tired of. We're going to have story missions to play and get tired of. And we're going to have
New
multiplayer maps and another raid. And people get tired of the raid a lot more slowly, since it takes that much more time and you
Yeah.
need way more people. So that I think that'll be kind of nice and invigorating for the game. But I think what they need is to bring back the content that was in the game up till a year ago. I mean, they have areas for moons of Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury. There's a multiplayer map on Mercury, so it's kind of like they have these planets that were in planning or even are technically kind of playable in the game right now that we don't have access to, we don't have yet. And I think if they're going to make this game last the 10 years that they are saying, that's the kind of content that they need to be pushing out more frequently, because Earth, Venus, Mars, and the Moon are small.
Yeah, they are. And I really do think that they are going to push some really big expansion in the future. I mean, they have to especially to release all those moons and planets and stuff. And I don't think that, on Earth we have a certain section that we can go to. I think there's going to be multiple sections on each planet we're going to be able to visit. I mean,
if they just added that, I would be more than satisfied.
And I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. It's just there's still so much development that has to be done for something like that. And I mean, we can't count them out yet. This is it's been how many months since Destiny came out? It hasn't even been a month.
It has been a whole month, and in a few days it will have been 2.
Yeah. So I mean,
which means
it's really
their base content has already been burned through.
Yes.
That's not a very long time. It's a
but
pretty short time.
At the same time, they still have time to release more stuff.
Yeah,
so,
they absolutely do.
And I mean, they do release free things too. Like they have all the events that they release and stuff. So I'm not worried yet. If it comes down that along the road, maybe 2 months from now, that they don't have more content, I'm gonna start to get worried for them, because like right now, I'm already at a lull point with Destiny, and I don't think I should be. But
No, you should not be at a low point 2 months after release for a game that is supposed to be that big,
Yeah.
of that scale. It's unfortunate. All right, well, we'll take a break, and when we're back, we'll be talking about PlayStation Plus and Xbox versus PlayStation.
Yeah, what's going on with that right now? And welcome back to the VGC. So, Jonathan, we were talking about a few things before Destiny, Assassin's Creed. We're moving on now to PlayStation Plus.
Yes.
And right now, we're supposed to be getting the new November stuff.
New November stuff coming on Tuesday.
Yes. And so far, for PlayStation 4 anyway, we've only been getting indie games. Like
Yes. Indie games galore.
Yeah, since it came out, we haven't gotten any AAA titles.
No.
It's just been a constant stream of indie games. And there's a rumor going on, because they haven't really released the specifics on what's going to be released anyway on PlayStation blog. There's a rumor that it's going to be, again, indie games.
Indie games.
That's just been happening constantly. I mean, PS3 is still getting a good dose.
AAA usually. Not this month, supposedly.
I mean, last month we got Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a great
big deal.
game, but we haven't been getting anything that's substantial for PlayStation 4.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why, and I like indie games. I really do. And I think that indie games push forward the gaming community in different ways than AAA titles do.
Yeah.
But it's been a year. We've all been paying for PlayStation Plus, and we're still seeing indie games as our, as the free games.
Yeah, and
even indie games on the day of their release, like this coming month is going to be The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. That hasn't released for PlayStation, and when it does release, it'll be free for Plus users.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we can't gripe too much because they're free games.
They're free games, yeah. I'm not going to complain.
So I mean, like, I'm glad that they're doing the free game thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of been a disappointment that we haven't gotten anything that's like really, really meaty. Especially,
it would be nice to have something really, really substantial to add to our libraries for free.
Yeah. And I mean, I've been thinking about this quite a bit, and I think I realized a little while ago why they just keep throwing out indie games. And it's mainly because a good portion, probably a majority of PlayStation users have PlayStation Plus.
Oh, yeah.
And the figures have just come out recently saying that PlayStation Plus, sorry, not PlayStation Plus, but PlayStation 4s have outsold Xbox Ones worldwide by like double.
Yeah.
And if you make the majority of PlayStation 4s, the people having PlayStation Plus, that's giving every single person that has PlayStation Plus a brand new free game. So
yeah,
giving them a AAA title is pretty much
it's expensive.
Yeah, and no one will buy that game anymore because everyone has it. So it just makes the whole situation really difficult for PlayStation and Sony. I mean, like, yes, I would love to have a game, a AAA title, just handed to me, but I don't feel like it's going to come anytime in the future.
And I think, honestly, that's why so many people were really disappointed with the flop that ended up being Drive Club. I, for one, was really looking forward to having a AAA crafted racing experience to play. It wasn't the full thing, and I knew that, and I'm okay with that. But I was looking forward to having a AAA quality game to play, to try, to see if I want to buy it, to enjoy. And obviously that didn't work out, and that's unfortunate, and I know that they're working on it, so I'm still waiting in anticipation. But that was gonna be that big free game that PlayStation Plus users were gonna get first. And now we're still waiting, and we're still playing indie games.
Yeah, and I mean they promise that they'll give us a Drive Club at some point, especially when they fix the actual experience.
Yeah.
But I can't hold my breath for it now, just because I've seen what's been happening with Drive Club lately, and it's not good.
No,
like,
not yet.
They're pretty much their entire interface, what they're basing everything off of, it just isn't working, and it's
unfortunate.
It's really sad that something like that's happening. But we get what we get, I guess. And I'm happy. I'm happy with getting indie games. like you said, I really wish that we got something more substantial.
I love my indie games. I love Fez. I love Dust. I love Towerfall. I love those games. They're really fun. They're great experiences. But I'm looking forward to the day I get a big game for free, like PlayStation 3 has been enjoying for years now. And even with Xbox Live games with Gold, they're at least the 360 version, they're getting substantial games for free.
Yeah. And like we were talking during the break earlier about like just getting indie titles like Journey or The Unfinished Swan. Like a title like that, I'd just be ecstatic to get something like that.
As would I.
But again, it's giving those games out for free.
Yes.
And I think it might actually be hurting a little bit just because we're giving out these indie games from indie developers for free to just a huge audience.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't see the developers getting a lot of money from that unless like Sony's paying them.
Sony has to be paying them something for that.
And that has to be like such a big amount of money coming from Sony to pay for those games.
Because a lot of them are becoming free on release.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And as far as like right now, the console wars are going on. PlayStation's winning. I feel like they're winning.
They're definitely winning. Like no shot, no chance at the moment anyway. Which I think is a really good thing because it's going to lower the. We've already seen Microsoft is lowering the price of the Xbox One. For in November, and I think that's going to push their sales farther, which is going to add a larger fan base, a larger base of games and people who own them, to build up more games and better exclusives for the Xbox brand, which will then push Sony further in the same thing. And you have this kind of cycle that will only make the industry better. It'll only make everything better for consumers.
I'm kind of worried though, because like the PlayStation's rise has been ridiculous.
It has.
Like it's like I said earlier, it's double the size of the Xbox community. And I mean, in the last generation, that occurred in the opposite direction. Xbox 360 obviously had a lot more people than PS3 did, and that was because of the crazy price that the PS3 had from the beginning anyway. But we had the reverse of that, and now the tables have turned. Everything's like, the PlayStation is just so big right now, and even exclusives like Sunset Overdrive that Xbox has, it doesn't like. I don't have that pull towards the Xbox just because.
Right, you're not gonna go buy an Xbox One just so you can play Sunset Overdrive.
I mean, if someone handed me an Xbox so I could play Sunset Overdrive, I totally would. Because that game looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
But it's just not enough incentive, which is like sometimes you will just go out and buy a console specifically for a game, but I feel like PlayStation right now is in a better spot.
They are in a better spot, but I also think that Xbox hasn't released that game yet. I mean, Halo is Microsoft's console seller. People buy Xboxes so they can play Halo because Halo is fun. And the Xbox One doesn't have that yet. The Master Chief Collection is coming out very soon. Halo 5 is coming out next year, and there's a bunch of content that's going with both of those. The cinematic trailers for what they've done with Halo 2 Anniversary look incredible.
That's true.
As someone who does not have an Xbox One, who has a PlayStation 4, I want an Xbox One so I can play those games that I love so much, that I loved playing on my 360 on a new
next-gen console.
On a next-gen console. It looks like it's going to be a blast. At least the Master Chief Collection looks like it's going to be a sight to behold once it releases. And I can't wait for it, but I also can't buy it.
And I mean, like, Wii U is getting Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U. Like,
talk about a system seller. Halo has nothing on Smash.
Well, I mean, like, and even with the upcoming release of the Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U, Wii U isn't selling as big as PlayStation 4. And I'm not saying like it will or anything like that, but that kind of game definitely will pull up Xbox sales. And I don't think that PS4, I don't feel like the PS4 has released their seller game yet.
They haven't yet. Uncharted 4
Uncharted
is
4.
still on the way. The Order 1887 is
86.
86 is
yeah.
still on the way. So they have games that are kind of out there being developed, and once they get closer, but a lot of people already have a PlayStation.
Yeah.
So I don't expect the rise of the PlayStation 4 due to those system sellers to be nearly as great as the Xbox.
But they definitely have a countermeasure.
ratio-wise. Right.
They
They have
countermeasure.
those exclusive games that are being loaded into the guns.
So yeah, so pretty much like when they decide to release the collection, the Halo Master Chief Collection, they'll try and release something alongside with it, with those two games, Halo 5 especially, just to counterbalance that, because there's going to be a huge upheaval of Xbox Ones being sold during that time, and like I know that they're planning for that. PlayStation is going to be planning for that.
They have to be, and that's probably part of Microsoft's plan in response to Sony's system sellers that they know are coming on the way.
So I mean, I think the battle's just getting started, and it's exciting. I want to see who wins out in the end.
Oh, we know who's going to win out in the end. The consumer is going to win out in the end. That's who's going to win. We're already winning. We're already winning right now, and as the industry moves forward, the more people that have Xboxes means better developers and better optimization on Xbox. The more people that have PlayStations means more games and better optimization for PlayStation, and just means the industry is going to move forward in a big way, and everything is only going to get bigger and better.
Yeah. So I think that's all we have time for at the VGC. I'm Emil.
I'm Jonathan.
And stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks.
Hit us up on Twitter and Facebook.